With about 1,100 miles on my Sting at this point, they've all been on the road or hard packed dirt. So I wanted to test it out on a rocky terrain to see how it would do. So I headed up to a trail that I've ridden many a times on my Hondas and KTMs. It starts in the old ghost town of St. Elmo and goes up to Tincup Pass. It's about a 12,000 foot elevation at the top of the pass and kind of a rocky road. Some of the things I noticed at first was, number one, the bike is stock. And I noticed that the handlebars were way too low to ride in a comfortable position. I'm 5'10", and I've since fixed that problem with some new bars. But I continued on up, and as you get out of town, that's when the road gets really rough, as you'll see here in this video. The vibration coming up through those handlebars was terrible. Aluminum, it's a cast aluminum frame. It transmits vibration much worse than a steel frame motorcycle. I also noticed that the suspension, although I set it up for me, it was pretty rough. Much worse than any motorcycle I ever had ridden. Something else I didn't like, the power band. With a gas-powered bike, you've got a clutch, and if you're picking your way through rocks kind of slow, you can feather the RPM of the machine, and it makes it much more negotiable, kind of like a trials riding. You know, the Sting's got lots of horsepower when you throttle up, but it's really not very good or practical riding rough stuff if you just want to pick through it slowly. As you get towards the top, the road gets a lot smoother and you're able to use a little bit more of the throttle. But it still stays pretty rough going up. One thing I'll point out, I didn't have a problem with on this ride, and that was water crossings, but it goes without saying, the bike isn't sealed up anywhere close to a conventional motorcycle. If I were having to ride through even a shallow stream, I'd be pretty paranoid about causing damage, let alone in rain. I've ridden motorcycles in rainstorms and stuff, and I wouldn't think about doing that to this bike. But as I got to the top, looked around a little bit, took some pictures, and then I headed down. And I turned on regen, the braking, to see how much I could gain as far as charging the battery back up. And when I got to the bottom, it didn't add 1 watt to it. So once I hit the bottom, I headed up another road to Tincup Pass. And it was a lot smoother road, a lot more fun to ride. But that was the extent of the trip, and I guess the only thing I'd point out is this thing is one of the best bikes, funnest bikes I've ever owned on pavement or hard packed dirt. But I think use on rocky ground is going to damage it considerably in a short period of time. I just don't think it's made for it. I would point out the Talaria boys made an incredible video titled Absolutely Insane Utah E-Moto Ride. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you watch it. What they rode was far worse than anything I tackled. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening to my opinions. Have a good day.